All right, today we are tackling a big one, the Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe for short. You know, if you've ever looked at a massive company and wondered, how on earth do they get hundreds of people to work together without it all just turning into chaos? Well, this is for you. We're going to pull back the curtain and demystify how SAFe takes that spark of agility from a single team and scales it up to light up an entire enterprise. Let's dive in.
First, let's try a quick mental exercise. Imagine writing the numbers 1 through 26. Easy enough, right? Now picture writing the letters A through Z. Also, no problem. But what if I told you to alternate them? You know, 1A, 2B, 3C? Ugh, it suddenly becomes painfully slow and you're way more likely to mess up. That feeling? That's called context switching, and it's pretty much what our workdays feel like, right? We're juggling a dozen things at once, feeling super busy, but are we actually getting anything meaningful done? This is the exact problem that Agile frameworks were born to solve.
You see, the old way of building things was a lot like a relay race. One person does their part, hands off the baton, and then the next person takes over. The problem, of course, is if someone drops that baton, the whole race just grinds to a halt. The Agile approach is, well, it's more like a rugby team. The entire team moves down the field together, passing the ball back and forth, constantly adapting to how the game is unfolding. It's a massive shift from just passing things along in sequence to working as a truly collaborative team. And honestly, it's essential for any company that wants to move fast in today's world.
So that's the goal, to shift from that isolated relay race to the all-in rugby scrum. But how do we do it? Well, it isn't just about changing a few processes. It's about changing the way we think. It all has to start with a whole new philosophy. And that new philosophy really kicked off back in 2001 with something called the Agile Manifesto. The absolute brilliance of it is its simplicity. It's not about just throwing out everything we used to do. It's about reprioritizing. So we still need processes and tools, sure, but we value individuals and their interactions more. We still need comprehensive documentation, of course, but we value actual working software more. I mean, this was a truly radical idea at the time, and it completely changed the game.
And holding up these 4 big values are 12 principles that really get to the core of what it means to be agile. You've got things like, our highest priority is to satisfy the customer, and business people and developers must work together daily. These aren't just, nice suggestions on a poster. They are the actual building blocks for a new kind of culture, one that's all about collaboration, customer value, and always getting better.
Okay, so we've got this powerful new mindset, but a philosophy is just a philosophy, right? It's just an idea until you actually put it into practice. So how do you get a team to really work in this new agile way? Let's take a look. And this is where Scrum enters the picture. Look, if Agile is the destination you're trying to get to, then think of Scrum as the engine that's actually going to get you there. It's a simple but really powerful framework that gives teams a structured way to tackle complex problems. It's all about this cycle. Build a little, get some feedback, and adapt over and over and over again. And the heartbeat of that Scrum engine? It's something called an iteration. Just think of it like a 2-week sprint. In just 2 weeks, a team can take an idea, build it, test it, and have something of real value to show for it. Now, why 2 weeks? Because it creates an incredibly fast feedback loop. You are never more than 10 workdays away from learning what's working and what isn't. But what really fuels this engine, it's these 5 core values. And believe me, these are not just words you stick on a poster. They are the absolute lifeblood of a high-performing team. You need the courage to tackle big challenges, the focus to actually see them through, and the openness to be brutally honest about what's working and what isn't. Without these values, that whole Scrum engine, it just stalls out. Okay, so Scrum is fantastic for a single team. But what happens when you're not just building a small app? What if you're building a massive, incredibly complex system? How in the world do you get dozens of teams to work together?
This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you scale this agile thing? How do you get hundreds of developers spread all over the place across dozens of teams to all move in lockstep, just like that rugby team we talked about? How do you keep everyone aligned and avoid total chaos when you're operating at that kind of scale?
This is where the Scaled Agile Framework, SAFe, really starts to shine. Its core idea is something called the Agile Release Train, or ART, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a train that all the teams ride together. It's a team of teams, anywhere from 50 to 125 people, all working together on one shared mission. They plan together, they build together, and they deliver value together.
And if the art is the train, then PI planning, well, that's the engine room. This is a massive 2-day event where everyone on the train, every single person, gets in a room to plan out the next 10 weeks of work. It is loud, it's a little chaotic, it's intense, and it is without a doubt the single most important event in all of SAFe.
And you can see right here why it is so incredibly powerful. Think about it. For 2 straight days, everyone is in the same room actually talking to each other. Developers are talking directly to business leaders, teams are negotiating their dependencies right there on the spot, and maybe for the first time ever, the amount of work being asked for is actually balanced against the real capacity of the people who have to do it. It is an absolute game changer.
Okay, so we've got our Agile release train chugging along, and we've got PI planning to get everyone aligned. But who keeps the train on the tracks, right? Who helps all these teams navigate this totally new way of working? Well, that's where a very special kind of leader comes into the picture.
In SAFe, every team has a Scrum Master, who is not a manager in the way we usually think of one. No, they are a servant leader, and that right there is a radical idea. It means their job isn't to tell people what to do. Their job is to serve the team, to remove obstacles, to coach them, and to create an environment where they can do their absolute best work. It completely flips the traditional management pyramid upside down.
This quote from Robert Greenleaf, the guy who actually coined the term servant leadership, it says it all. The great leader is seen as servant first, and that simple fact is the key to his greatness. It's just a profound shift in how we think about what leadership even is, moving away from power and control and towards service and empowerment.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in behavior. Instead of being the hero who swoops in and solves all the problems, you're the coach who helps the team learn to solve their own problems. You're not the expert who has all the answers. You're the facilitator who knows how to ask the right questions. It's a huge move from command and control to trust and empower.
And as you can see from this breakdown, the Scrum Master wears a lot of hats. They're a facilitator, making sure something huge like PI planning runs smoothly. They're a coach, helping the team get the most out of their 2-week iterations. They're a process improver, always looking for ways the team can work a little smarter. And they're a team builder, fostering that culture of trust and collaboration. Honestly, they're the glue that holds the team together and connects them to that bigger Agile release train.
So let's just do a quick recap. We started with the pain of juggling too many things at once. We discovered the Agile mindset. We built a Scrum team. We put that team on an Agile release train, and then we gave them a servant leader to guide them. That right there is the entire journey from a single Agile team to a fully Agile enterprise.
Which, brings us right back to where we started. Is your organization still running that old relay race with all the dropped batons and the slow, frustrating handoffs that come with it? Or are you ready to start playing rugby, moving down the field as a single, unified team? Understanding a framework like SAFe is really the first big step on that journey to true enterprise agility. Thanks for joining us.